This is CBS News Bay Area with Juliette Goodrich.
Is it a go? Is it a no-go? Well, the mission unexpectedly accomplished in Congress and a government shutdown averted. San Francisco Fleet Week officially underway. You bet it's a go. It is a huge week for a city still struggling to bounce back from the pandemic. Huge crowds expected to see military ships, but the biggest draw, of course, are the Blue Angels, and you may have seen or even heard them arrive today. Yes, they arrived in style at Oakland International today with a few twists and tricks before they touch down. You will likely spot the team practicing this week for the big air shows happening Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This year's Fleet Week will be dedicated to the late Senator Dianne Feinstein, who first helped bring the event to the Bay Area in the early 80s. The idea was to attract more Navy business to our shipyards. And ever since, it's drawn huge crowds of visitors to the city each October. And you will notice a tribute during the air shows. The Blue Angels will fly in a missing person formation in Feinstein's honor. And this year, another woman makes history. You see jet number 3 touching down. It's being flown by Lieutenant Commander Amanda Lee. She is the first female member of the Blue Angels demonstration team. And 2023 marks 50 years of women flying in the Navy, but there are plenty of civilian pilots in the air as well. Our Itai Hod spoke with a Bay Area woman finally seeing her dream of becoming a commercial pilot take off.
Clear for takeoff for 19 right for 743, Tango Hotel.
Just above the rolling vineyards of Northern California, Sarah Ward's dream is taking flight.
It's calm and nice out. That's when you can't believe that this is what you get to do every day. This is November 743.
After earning her private license, she's one step closer to becoming a commercial pilot.
Have you rehearsed your pilot announcement?
Welcome aboard. This is your captain speaking.
This wasn't always the plan. In fact, you could say that becoming a pilot wasn't even on her radar.
I didn't grow up in an aviation family, so I just never was exposed to it. I never thought being a pilot was never thought in my head.
But then she got a job as a flight attendant, and that was a ticket to a whole new world.
It's just like I got an all access pass to like what it is to be a pilot, and now it's the first time where it entered my brain where it was like, I could do this. Like, this is awesome.
When it comes to the aviation industry, women have remained largely grounded. But as airlines face unprecedented staffing shortages, there's been a push to recruit more female pilots.
It's been a male-dominated sport or industry for so long.
Sue Royce is a pilot and the chair of the local chapter of the 99s, an organization founded by aviation pioneer Amelia Earhart.
How many women are there in aviation these days?
Currently, I believe it's only 6% of all licensed pilots are women.
Very few.
It is very few, and we're really trying to change that.
She says the aviation industry has traditionally discouraged women from pursuing careers as pilots.
Why is it important to have women in aviation?
Why not? If guys can fly, if a woman wants to fly, why shouldn't she be able to?
The good news, things seem to be moving in the right direction. Mike Smith owns an aviation school in Napa. He says more and more female students are now taking lessons, and not only are they as good as men, in many cases, they're better.
Many men typically think they already know how to do it, and they're not so open to learning as many of our female students are.
For Sarah, it's about inspiring other women to follow her lead. That and sticking the landing.
Whew! Yeah, you feel good after a good landing.
And now that she can do that, well, the sky is no longer the limit.
Love that ending shot there, Itai. And it's not just about the Blue Angels. 2 Navy ships are now in the Bay and will be open for public tours later in the week. They'll also be part of the Stars of the Parade of Ships. And we'll certainly be bringing that to you live at 11 a.m. on Friday, followed by Blue Angels live at 3. We'll have special coverage all week long as the official media partner for San Francisco Fleet Week. So the big question, of course, will the weather cooperate? Let's go now to First Alert meteorologist Paul Hagan on our virtual set for more on that. Hi, Paul.
Hi, it does look like the weather is going to be pretty cooperative, certainly more so than last year when Saturday and Sunday's Blue Angel shows were largely obscured by the fog. You could just hear the jets going overhead. Beautiful sunset out there this evening, some high clouds reflecting those last rays of sunlight. Let's take a look first before we get to the high temperature forecast for tomorrow, where we ended up today. Temperatures did top out very close to what's normal for this time of year. 82 degrees in San Jose was actually the warm spot across the whole Bay Area, but other parts of the Santa Clara Valley were only in the middle portion of the 70s. Reached up into the 70s in Fremont and Redwood City, even inland to the East Bay, only around 80 degrees in Livermore, Antioch, and Concord. Mid 60s in San Francisco, low 70s for Oakland. Temperatures along the coast only hit the low 60s today, but you're going to be climbing through the rest of the week as well. Inland in the North Bay, your temperatures made it up into the 70s on a widespread basis. You should be into the 80s by tomorrow afternoon. So let's talk more about tomorrow's high temperature forecast. Compare those highs to what's normal for this time of year. And we are going to be about 3 to 5 degrees above average. Puts us into the 70s around the Bay, mostly into the 80s farther inland. But tomorrow's transition day. We've got even hotter temperatures in store by Wednesday and especially by Thursday and Friday. That's when this heat wave is going to peak with inland temperatures into the low to mid 90s. We'll take a look if any records are in jeopardy coming up in the full forecast in just a few minutes.
Paul, thank you. A brush fire in Oakland now contained. It was burning dangerously close to homes this evening. In fact, this is a look from our chopper over the 3000 block of Parker Avenue. Crews are continuing to check for hot spots in one residential structure that was impacted by this fire. All right, now to a very difficult story to report and talk about for any of us. This happening in the South Bay. 2 children have died after falling into a pool in San Jose, and a third child was also hurt. And this happened at an in-home daycare on Fleetwood Drive this morning. Police say they got a call of several children falling into a pool. 3 of them were taken to the hospital. 2 later died. The DA's office and police homicide unit are both investigating the deaths. They're still working to determine if any crimes were committed. All right, on to Senator Feinstein's memorial plans now, and we are learning new information. The funeral service plans to honor the late Dianne Feinstein have now changed. It will now be a public event in the front steps of San Francisco City Hall. The public is invited to attend the outdoor service at Civic Center Plaza. The service will be on Thursday at 1 p.m. The late senator's body will still lie in state at the rotunda of City Hall on Wednesday. Governor Newsom has made his pick to fill Feinstein's Senate seat. He has appointed LaFonza Butler, and she has been serving as the president of an organization called Emily's List, which is devoted to electing Democratic women who support abortion rights. She was head of a large workers' union, and she is a former advisor to now Vice President Kamala Harris.
I am proud and honored to have had so many extraordinarily qualified people that expressed interest in this job, and I could not be more proud of LaFonza's interest in her qualifications and her willingness to do this.
Butler will be the only black female in the Senate and the first to be openly lesbian. BART's interim police chief got promoted to chief today. Oakland native Kevin Franklin, he takes over at a time when BART is struggling to rebuild ridership and passenger safety concerns. In fact, a survey from the Bay Area Council from earlier this year found that 45% cite safety and cleanliness for why they don't ride BART. Our Wilson Walker shows us how the new chief is trying to change that.
Well, we've heard very clearly from our passengers that they want to see more uniform presence on the trains, both from our sworn police officers and our unarmed civilians.
Chief Kevin Franklin says what passengers want is simple, safe, and clean trains, and he knows a lot of people are skeptical these days.
I acknowledge that the perception that people have right now is often negative because of some of the things they may have heard about the system.
He says the answer to both the problems and the perception is more patrols on more cars, and he is one of the reasons your train may have recently gotten a little bit shorter.
We believe that active spaces are safer spaces. It also allows my officers to patrol more of the train cars that are out there.
Hello.
The idea is to get as many people on as many trains as possible to deal with everything from safety to litter. And to do that, the department is hiring and boosting pay.
One of the things I'm trying to do right now is aggressively recruit for 29 vacancies that I have. And so by increasing the staffing of the department, that allows me to do even more of the work that's out there. But for right now, I'm maximizing our existing resources.
Franklin mentioned that his family rides BART and he himself is a lifelong BART passenger. In fact, he actually rode one of those opening day trains out of Lake Merritt Station back in 1972 when he was 3 years old, and here he was back in the same station taking the top security job as the system faces historic challenges of ridership, rider confidence, and long-term funding. So it is no small set of challenges facing the new BART police chief.
And along with more patrols, BART also says new fare gates will help. The first of these will go up in West Oakland before the end of the year.